Welcome everyone. Today we have a special Underlord guide. This guide is to help everyone get to Big Boss and go further with Big Boss. We'll be looking at the timing for saving, leveling, rerolling, and tips for Dota Underlords. Now do notice those suggestions listed below are recommendations that aim to help players to perform well and have most fun in playing Underlords. I feel the most fun comes with knowledge and with understanding of the game mechanics. That's why I'll be highlighting using the stages and rounds of the games as our time reference. Let's go at the start. In the starter rounds, round 1 to 3, here we should be aiming to purchase all the units with all the gold we have to ensure our best chance of finding a pair or even 2-star unit. A 2-star unit can be very strong in the early game, which leads to win streaks and also savings we can go further into the game. To note that, try to pick units that falls under the same alliance. We can pick Scrappies, then we can pick Inventors, we can pick Warriors that can go into Heartless, we can pick Trolls that go into Knights. We want to pick units that builds together. So first we want 2 stars, then we build around the 2 stars if possible. A small tip here is, while taking our time to pick our items in those rounds, we want to keep in mind that we can quickly sell our existing lineup for what is in the shop, after choosing a particular item that will benefit the alliance. What do I mean by that is, if we see a brownie item in the shop, we can sell our goblins, or we can sell the scrappies on the board and buy the Beastmaster or buy the axe for the brownie item. Also, the 5-second window allows us to sell, let's say we have scrappies, this time we have trolls or warriors in the shop. We can buy those if we find those global items. So it's like quick adjustments to this round tailored for the item choices we just made, which will give us a small upper hand in the early rounds. For round 4 to 8, we should consider 3 things before we level up. The first thing is, do we need to protect a win streak? Income is a big factor in this game, and saving up gold is very critical. Having additional units on the board can enable a cheap alliance or a basic alliance, say Warriors, Heartless, Scrappy, Binomial, or even something, say the Brownies. This can be a key winning factor and tip the scales for us. If we're running a losing streak, then we should consider maybe reducing 1 or 2 units on the board to ensure our lineup is weaker than enemy. Early round losses in HP are usually the minimum because Underlords increase the HP loss per unit as we go further. After 10 rounds it goes higher, after 20 rounds it goes higher. The second thing we should consider is, do we have multiple lower tier pairs? By that I meant 1 cost pairs like Bounty Hunters or Tinies, 2 cost pair like Timber Swords or maybe Beastmaster, sitting on the board or on the bench. Although leveling up allows us to have more space and more units, if they're only 1-star units, this might not be strong enough to help us win the round. Leveling up too early might result us with lower rates for the tiers we want. What I mean by that is, the 1 tier and 2 tier units will have a lower rate if we leveled into 5 or 6. The 2 tiers will stay the same rate at level 5, but level 6 will actually get a lower rate. So we might want to reconsider before we level up. The third question is, does our build need higher tier units rates for leveling up? Most builds require higher tier unit rate, but Scrappy, for a special case, is beneficial to stay on level 4 for the highest rates for tier 1 and tier 2 units rates. If I want my Medusa for hunters, I should be leveling up. So is for my warriors, so is for a lot of other builds. But for Scrappy in particular, if we leveled up, we actually lowered the 1 tier units rates, we also will lower the 2 tier units rates as we're going to level 6 too early. Then we're sitting with Scrappies that's not a 2-star, maybe we will be missing the chance of finding a 3-star Scrappy. The order of importance is win streaks over pair rates, over losing streak, over tier rates. What that means is, I have listed as the economy as the number 1 choice. The second choice is to have higher rates for pairs if we don't have any of the streaks. The third choice, we look at unit rates for the particular build we're building onto. For round 9 to 15, this is the saving window for most players. Most enemy lineups will not significantly increase this in strength during this period. The lucky few might find 1 or 2 stars because they just happen to find them, but most players will be saving their gold at this timing. So it is key for us to save up a sizable fortune of gold during this period. because this allows us to be versatile and dynamic. We can spend those gold to level up, we can spend those gold to roll for units. The key is to have the fortune and the income to back up our decisions. We're looking at tips on saving. Decide our main build and its branch build. This is important because around round 9 and 10, if we do not decide our main build and the branch build, for example, warriors into hunters, warriors into mages, binomial into mages, knights into trolls, or knights into dragons. The knights are the main build while the dragons are the branch build. If we do not decide them early, then we'll be looking at multiple synergies and alliances on the board that's taking away the gold that can be used in terms of interest and in terms of economy. Gold do pile up and they compound. The 1 gold you make this round can help you make another gold next round, and this goes further. So don't get greedy with too many other alliances. We want to use the board and our bench as an indicator for what alliance we want to go into. If I have lots of warriors, we can consider 6 warriors, heartless warriors, or maybe hunter and warriors if we have the beastmaster as well. So use what we have as indicators. I often see friends who goes dragons, assassins, warriors, binomial, and all the good things, mages. They are good, yes, but we should try to limit our choice of alliance to no more than 3. And ideally, 1 should be tanking, 1 should be doing damage. This is not always the case because the best defense is offense with mages. How interest works is interest are calculated at the start of each battle round. I'm naming 2 types of rounds. The 1 round is preparation round, is when you can move your units, you can place your units. The second type of rounds is battle round, when your units actually fighting. So at the start of each battle round, interest is already calculated. So what that means is you could be spending gold after the battle round to make the most efficiency of spending and earnings per interest. As we said, as we can see over here, aim to delay purchase of units until the battle for the round starts. Unless this is an essential upgrade for our board, because this allows us to earn the highest amount of gold per interest per round. Let me give us an example. If I'm sitting on 40 gold, there is a Crystal Maiden in my shop. I have a 1-star Crystal Maiden on the board. If I bought this Crystal Maiden, I'll be looking at 38 gold, which gives us 3 gold of interest next turn. But if I didn't buy the Crystal Maiden before the round start, and buy her after the battle starts, I can have my Crystal Maiden and still sitting on 4 gold of interest at the start of the round. So just a small decision making will give us extra gold, which goes further and further as we build up the economy faster than everybody else. Keep our core units, but only keep the branch units that we can add on the board when we level up. What do I mean by that? If my core units are warriors, and if I'm thinking of branching into trolls, if I'm thinking of branching into heartless, I should not keep multiple of my branch units on my bench, because having multiple units and not having the space to add them due to our level cap can be damaging to the economy. If I'm sitting on over 50 gold, I can keep multiple units as choices, but I'm sitting on below 50 gold, those units can be converted to gold, make the saving, and we can buy them later. Because most of the units can be found as 2-star quite easily with gold, but it's hard to find them into 3-star. So there's no need to hold up your units when you don't have the space to add them to your board. Because with the level cap, there's no way we can get to level 8 and 9 super fast to add multiple units. For round 16 to 20, this is the first spending window. Most players will be level 7 at round 17 and level 8 at round 21. This is a natural phenomenon as players do spend gold to level up naturally according to the curve of the XP. So we use our HP as indicators whether we should be spending or we should be leveling up around round 21. Our HP indicators are as follows. HP under 50% at round 16, this is a scary one because this is a threshold for going all in. Our HP is very low and it's time to go all in. You may be saying, hey, 50% is still okay, but let's think about this. It will take 1 to 3 rounds for us to build a board with sizable strength and find our 2-star units. Now, if we delayed our spending, what is likely is that we lose too much HP and we start to panic and we start to make decisions that's not very logical and we might make mistakes. So we should consider to level to 7 around 16 and level to 8 around 17. This will take us with 8 units on board, and then we should be start to roll for our units to 2-star and 3-star in the following rounds. So we don't just level up and we stop spending. We want to level up, then we keep spending by rolling into 2 stars and 3 stars. So we want to spend our gold down to 20 or 10 gold if necessary. If you have seen my games where we come back with a losing streak, I will always spend deep, because I know I can make my gold back with a win streak, and if we survive, we have so much chance to make more gold. But if we die, it's all over. So make sure you spend those gold and make sure you invest into HP. The second indicator is HP over 60% at round 17. So we'll look at our current alliance for strength, and if this alliance is a great alliance, say if it's knights, if it's mages, it's a solid mid-game alliance. If it's scrappy, if it's assassins, then we need to consider, hey, we might be weaker, so we need to adjust. We also look at the strength of alliance on the board using the number of 1-stars to 2-star ratio. If we have too many 1-stars, that means our board is not very strong, and we should consider rerolling and spending gold at level 7 if we have an overwhelming number of 1-star unit. What that means is, if I look at my whole board, I'm like, there's so much upgrade I can find. If I level up again, I just add as a 1-star. But if I spend some gold and find my 2 stars, I can be so much stronger. For those with a fortune of HP above 75% at round 17, we can consider to invest for the long term. We can keep our gold above 50 and wait for round 21 to be spending. This will lead us to 5 to 15 additional gold for our interest savings, and also on the worst chance which comes, we might lose 10 to 20 HP because our board is a little weaker at this time, but we have the HP buffer. We'll be still around 50% into round 21, which is a very comfortable HP position with a good economy to back us up. This is investing for the longer term, and it will reward us with something great, because we can have more gold to find legendaries or even level up again. So, although HP is a great indicator, we should also consider the use of personal judgment and our understanding of our units with the current build. Some builds like Scrappy might want to go to level 9 and round 21, for techies of course, for the 6 Scrappies. Also, we'd like to go Scrappy level 9 because we can open up legendaries, we can go into legendary mages with Scrappies. Other builds like Assassins might want to stay at level 7 and 8 to roll for 3-star Assassins, because they don't benefit much by going to level 9, they actually lose rates of Assassins because they don't need legendaries for most of the cases. So we'll be looking at focus builds and particular timings for each of the builds in the future as well. Say Scrappies, say Warriors, say Mages, we'll look at all those as well. For round 21 and plus, it is time to spend our gold. Level to 8, that's where most players are, and roll down to 40, 30 and 20 gold. This is aimed to protect HP for the top 4 position. You might be wondering, why are you suggesting to spend so much early when I still have HP, when I still have, I still have 50 or 40% HP. The highlight here is, if you lose around those rounds, it's likely you lose a lot of HP, because after 21, each unit will cost more HP as they defeat you. What we want to do is we want to exchange gold into strength on the board, because gold left unspent is not going to transition to anything. So we're investing into protection of HP. But of course, if most of your units are 2-star and 3-star, you don't have to spend those gold. You know you're stronger, then you can save up a little longer, and you can go further into the game. So, over here, if you want to go first or go home, which means we want to come number 1, we want to delay spending. We want to delay our spending under 50 gold while HP is above 50% because we have the HP buffer. The extra gold for our interest can be the difference maker in the late game situation 1 vs 1, which allow us to find 3-star units and also find those legendaries. This is an option because we have the privilege with HP buffer. If we earn about 30 or 20%, I would still recommend to roll down to 40, 30 and 20 gold. You may ask, why 20 gold? Because 20 gold still earns 2 gold per round with interest, and those 20 gold can be your last all-in. Once you get to 10, 15 or 5 HP, you can choose to spend your gold by leveling, or we can reroll again. We have a tip here. Due to the limited time of each round we have, try to roll for units during the battle and consider the number of bench space, because we only have a certain amount of bench space. As you roll during the battle, you might run out of space. So you might consider, what units do I want to replace on the bench? Can I sell this for that? And the number of possible best outcomes for a unit to be found in the shop. Not just one possible outcome, but a number of them. If I'm looking for legendaries as a scrappy, I can pick up Lich, I can pick up Gyrocopter, I can pick up Tidehunter, I can pick up Enigma. So what units do I replace on my bench? Then what units do I replace on my board? Because if I'm prepared mentally, I make decisions so much faster. We know the limited time will be a crucial factor as HP gets lower, as the panic drives into us. So we want to be prepared and plan ahead to ensure that we make the best decisions and not panic and accidentally miss or sell a crucial unit. A lot of times we can be calm and collective when HP is high, but when HP is lower, we want to be prepared mentally, and preparation is key for us, definitely. For round 26 and plus, we consider to level to 9 and add units to the board to gain a higher rate, and also to have another unit to battle for us. Sometimes that can be the difference maker. But keep in mind, it might be better to roll for your purple units to 2-star if most of our higher tier units, which we say legendaries are purple units, are still 1-star. It might be hard to find legendaries, but you still want 2-star purple units, most of them, before you go to level 9. This can be optional if you level up for a crucial alliance. For example, 6 knights, maybe 6 mages, maybe 6 scrappies and mages. Because you unlock such a strong alliance, going to level 9 is justifiable. Other cases, you want to be rolling for 2 stars. Positioning is now a key factor for the late game. Initiators like Conquer, Tide, and Disruptor should be positioned in the front and be prioritized with mana gain and defensive items. In most games, it is won or lost because of human silence on the initiators, or because of crucial stun with a Tide or maybe a Conquer. And because of that, we really want to have the upper hand by casting faster. So mana items are crucial. Defensive items can be a double-edged sword, because if you're too defensive, you don't get mana as much when they attack you. So you want to balance. You don't want to die too fast, you don't cast. You don't want to die too slowly, that you cast too slow. So what I usually do is I give Tide and Disruptor armor and HP. I give Conquer mana gain. I might try it other times depending on the enemy I'm facing. Of course, in the future we'll be looking into more item choices, tier list, positioning, win streak and losing streak tips, and specific builds. Because there's so much to be covered on Underlords, I have started doing the basic guides. Now we'll be looking into more advanced guides and more specific guides. Thank you so much for watching this guide for Dota Underlords. We have achieved Big Boss 3 and we're looking forward to go to Big Boss 4. I want to share lots of tips and lots of guides and just great things with you guys, and we'll do this slowly with the basic guides. Now we're going into advanced guides. Later on we'll be going into details, tips, tricks and secrets to rank up in Dota Underlords. Thank you so much everyone for watching. Please subscribe for my YouTube channel for more Dota Underlords tips, guides and replays. Please also follow and subscribe to support me on Twitch. Thank you everyone.